This is your WCIA-3 forecast first.
Temperatures once again a little chilly out there this morning in the upper 20s and low 30s. 28 in Pontiac, 27 in Watsika and in Danville, 31 in Champaign, 32 in Decatur, and 33 in Springfield, which is where we have our Flooring America iNet camera up. We've got, again, another very nice sunny day today. The good thing will be winds coming in out of the south this time around at around 5 to 10 miles an hour this morning, gusting to around 20 miles an hour later this afternoon. That's going to be enough to get us back into the 40s for our highs, so it should be around 5 to almost 10 degrees warmer today compared to yesterday. A little bit more in the way of some wind, but the sunshine will again be out, making for a better Tuesday. WCIA-3 News starts right now.
And thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday morning. I'm Matthew White.
And I'm Karina Rubio. We have a lot in store for you in the next hour of the morning show, but first, let's take a look at your eye opener.
Well, one lawmaker is wanting to make daylight savings time a year-round thing. We have a look at the economic benefits that can come from that bill.
Plus, the White House is pointing out 2 turkeys that you just can't eat. That's in our trending topics of the day.
And the goal of a new program in one school district is giving a voice to students. And we have all that and more in store for you on the morning show, which starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is The Morning Show on WCIA-3 News.
I felt like we needed to do it in Illinois. It's just good common sense. It's what the people want.
An Illinois state representative wants to make daylight savings time a year-long thing, so she introduced a bill to do that. And this is actually not the first time that state lawmakers have talked about doing away with the changing of the clocks.
That's right. So far, 19 states have passed legislation or a resolution allowing for year-round daylight savings time, and now one state representative wants to make Illinois number 20. It would give us that extra sunlight at the end of the day, but the change has to come from more than just the state.
It's something we know comes every year when time springs forward and then months later it falls back. Daylight saving time started years ago as a way to help save energy, but now many state and local governments want it to end.
I have heard from so many different people, students at schools that I have visited, and parents and elderly, just all different age groups and working groups of people that they just hate having to go through the time change.
Decatur Representative Sue Shear introduced a bill that would make daylight saving time the year-round standard. She says the change twice a year is bad for people's health and for the economy. Research from the journal Current Biology shows car accidents go up almost 10%. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine says people are more prone to heart attacks because sleep patterns are off, and there are higher rates of depression. Shear says research also shows it costs the U.S. more than $430 million to change the time twice a year.
In the olden days, we didn't have the capabilities to do all this research and figure out how harmful and detrimental it was. We know better now.
Gibson City Superintendent Jeremy Darnell says the past few years they've had bigger things to worry about at school, but he still says if he had his choice, he would end daylight saving time.
Kids and transitions are hard when it's just like when we transition from summertime into the start of the school year. It takes kids a while to readjust that they go to bed a little bit earlier and have to get up a little bit earlier. So if we don't have those changes twice midstream in the middle of the school year, it would definitely be a benefit.
News update for you this morning. A school board met to discuss safety procedures after a student was killed. It happened near a school building last week. 18-year-old Pierre Scott Jr. died after he was stabbed near Lanphier High School. A 15-year-old girl was charged with murder and aggravated battery, along with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Last night, parents and grandparents expressed their concerns. It took place at the Springfield School Board meeting. The board heard from them during public input. Then the board discussed safety protocols behind closed doors in an executive session. The district has added more cameras in the last 6 months. It also has been adding more secure entrances throughout schools.
It's senseless act of violence. A person's life was lost at a very young age. We need to find answers and work as not as adversaries, but collaborate, positive way, all groups, to find answers to secure these facilities and also work with the parents and the caretakers.
We lost 2 students in this situation, and it's just sad. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to support students social emotionally, and if any child has a need to still talk, we've been very advocating in the schools all week that if you need to talk to somebody, we have people on site ready to talk to you in a given moment's notice.
The superintendent says they have a menu of short-term options as well as long-term to improve safety for students.
There are many students that want to see change, but don't feel they have the voice to do it.
But some of them are now taking on that challenge, and it's all thanks to a new program in Urbana. It's also breaking down a barrier between district leaders and the students. And those involved are hoping the changes they make could help future students for years to come.
More than 1,000 students walk the halls of Urbana High School every day, all of them from different backgrounds with different points of view. Now, Urbana's Board of Education is going to get a better idea of what they stand for, thanks to these three. Sophomore Parker Schroeder and freshman Michael Turner are the district's first ever Board of Education student ambassadors. Sophomore Ashley Ramos is an alternate.
I want to show the students that especially look like me that there's nothing wrong with standing out and fighting for what you think is right.
Well, I think it's an important job for someone to do, so I'm kind of honored.
This program started because board members want to know more about what students are going through and what they think about district-wide policies.
I feel that although it's easy for somebody from the board to come for a day or two, us students actually know what's going on a daily basis.
Ambassadors won't be able to vote or go into closed executive sessions, but they will serve as the voice of the student body. They'll study the agenda, chat with their peers, and then answer board members' questions or share concerns. Schroeder hopes this program leads to a behavior shift inside the school.
Yeah, I think if the students' opinions were heard, it would change a lot. And it might, motivate them because they actually feel like needed and heard.
Turner has a long list of changes he wants to see. One of them, a stronger presence of teachers to lessen hallway disruptions during passing periods.
There's already many staff members that have lots of great relationships with students, so if we put those staff members there, I think that would have a positive outcome.
Ramos is leading a charge to get other students involved.
I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican, so my first language will be Spanish. Not many Hispanic kids do a lot of stuff with this because some of them are scared or they're just not interested. So I'm trying to make that change. There were so many things I wanted to do when I was a kid, but I didn't get the chance because I was too shy, and I would have preferred that somebody would have do it first and then I would do it, but there was nobody who did it. So I'm trying to take the first step.
And while that first step can be a tall task, it's one all three ambassadors feel prepared to take on.
I want to make this school safer. I want to make sure every student that comes in here does not have to go home to their parents and say anything about not feeling safe. I just want this school to be the best that it can be.
Now, changes are already happening thanks to this program, and Ramos also asked if the board agenda could be written in Spanish to help not just her, but the other students as well, and the district agreed, so there will be a Spanish version of the agenda going forward.
I was a victim of the drive-by shooting.
And that's why he's demanding action from his city by asking them to reconsider installing license plate readers. A gunshot victim spoke to Urbana City Council members last night, and he wants solutions to end the gun violence. Members of the City Council then turned down the license plate readers last week.
That's right. They voted it down on Monday. Then just a couple of days later, Jonathan Blake was shot. That happened on Thursday near Bradley and Matthews in Urbana. Blake is upset because he thinks the cameras could help in an investigation like this, even though they wouldn't have been installed by the day he was shot. Mayor Diane Marlin was in favor of those license plate readers, along with the police chief and several city council members. But they faced a lot of pushback from people who thought it would invade privacy. Blake says he's disappointed.
What if it was your family member? What if it was your son or your daughter or your grandson or your granddaughter? And there's lots of what ifs. But the facts are something needs to be done today.
I'm sorry to Jonathan Blake.
City Council did respond to his comments. Councilwoman Sharice Hersey apologized to Blake for what he's gone through. Another woman also spoke up during public comment. She said she had been around gunfire the other day, so she also begged the council to put their heads together and work to find a solution to the violence.
Now, Rantoul and Decatur already have these license plate readers installed, and the city of Champaign and U of I police have been looking into adding them, as well as the Champaign County Sheriff's Office. And now that you're up to speed on the news, we're going to check in with Jack on the weather forecast.
What's it looking like out there, Jack?
Well, Matthew and Karina, we've got temperatures that are, again, a little chilly out there this morning, but we have, again, another nice sunny start to our day, which is nice. Here's our view from Springfield on our Flooring America INET camera. We've got a little bit of a shake there with our camera. We expect our winds to be a little bit stronger today compared to yesterday. We have some upper-level clouds coming on through, but there's still a lot of sunshine that's able to break through these. And you'll notice there's not much more off to our west and northwest where these are all kind of coming from. So it is going to be a sunny day for today. And our next system, which will get here by late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, is beginning to bring more in the way of some rain showers and snow showers to the Pacific Northwest. Still have temperatures in the 20s in Watseka and in Danville. Everyone else, though, is now in the 30s. 30 in Bloomington, 31 in Champaign, 32 in Mattoon, 33 in Springfield, and 34 in Jacksonville. With our winds coming in out of the south right now at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to be a bit more windy today compared to yesterday, but it'll be out of the south, so it's going to be a nice warmer direction of our wind, even though at times there will still likely be a little bit of a wind chill out there this morning. So your cast high temperatures for today going to be in the lower and middle 40s for a lot of us, even a few upper 40s are possible on the western and kind of southwestern side of our viewing area. So we expect a warmer day for today. It'll be even warmer for tomorrow, guys. And that's also the big travel day, too, as of right now. Still looking to be just kind of cloudy out there for tomorrow, so not really a big problem in terms of any weather that would slow you down.
Yeah, good day just to enjoy Thanksgiving, focus on family and food.
That's right.
And we have to be thankful we're not getting slammed with a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So.
Correct. Yeah, there's no big system coming through, and the system that does come on through just brings us just a little bit of some rain showers, and that's it.
I think we'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jack. Well, it's time for our trending topics of the day. We're talking about a 4-eared kitten, a pardoned turkey, and a virtual portrait. Now, first up, a 4-month-old kitten named Midas was born a little different compared to most cats. She was born with 2 sets of ears and a defective jaw due to a recessive genetic mutation. But this didn't stop her from becoming an internet star with over 73,000 followers. Her extra ears gained her a lot of attention on social media, and according to her vet, the additional ears do not affect her health or hearing in general. Now, what makes her special from other cats with similar genetic abnormalities is that all 4 of the ear laps are connected to the ear canal, and Midas is currently living with 2 golden retrievers, Susie and Zino. Her name comes from the mythological king of Phrygia, who was cursed with donkey ears. Now, I am not around cats too much, but I know both of you guys have cats at home, right?
Yep.
Jack, I know we've got some cats at home, too, so kind of, wouldn't this be cool?
Be kind
in a
of cute.
sense?
Yeah, like, it looks different. I mean, with they're symmetrical, too, so they're 2 little ones on both big ears. And it's good that there's no extra set of organs in there either. It's just all, an extra ear flap is all it is, so it really shouldn't impact the hearing too much. That's good.
Well, and Karina, I was going to say, I was hoping that it kind of amplified the kitten's hearing, but I guess it doesn't sound like it does.
Not too much, but I mean, I think the owner picked a perfect name. It kind of looks like a mythological creature.
Oh, yeah.
So, super cute.
Little Midas.
Good thing he's got a good home, too, so.
It's a different language, though, because I thought Midas was known for being, like, you know, gold. And then then this one was about, like, donkey ears. So it must have been a different Midas.
Well, we'll stick with the other one, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's pulling it off, though.
Yes, he is. Beautiful cat.
So President Biden continued a White House tradition.
That's a big turkey. With the power vested in me as President of the United States, I pardon you. I pardon you this Thanksgiving. Go ahead, say something. There you go. Thanks for the pardon.
He pardoned turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving, and the event took place in the Rose Garden, as it usually does. And he made sure that the lives of peanut butter and jelly. Oh, I'm sorry, did I read that correctly?
Those are the names of the turkeys.
Oh, they're names? Yeah. Okay. The turkeys were saved from getting eaten on the upcoming holiday.
You were thinking of PB&J sandwich?
Well, I was kind of like, well, teleprompter sometimes. A little weird, and I'm still getting used to that, too, on the weekend mornings. But, yeah, I was like, peanut butter and jelly, what does that have to do? That's the name, okay.
Pretty cool. I would not want to be around a turkey, though. I'm a little afraid of birds, and this thing just looks too big. Too big for me.
Well, and I will say, I don't know if you guys know, but back in Iowa, they actually roam freely on streets. I mean, you can just run into turkeys.
Like in the downtown
in the city, yeah. Huh. On my way to work, there were chances where I would almost hit a turkey. So I wouldn't, obviously, you know, hit any of these, but that's pretty cool how they just kind of are still kind of symbolic here.
And just to think, that was almost our national bird.
Was it?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
In the state of Illinois? Or
No, like instead of the bald eagle.
Oh, well, I know, but so was the turkey going to replace the bald eagle?
It's when the founding fathers were coming up with it, it was going to be, yeah, potentially the turkey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
It would be kind of weird, though, to eat our national bird. So,
like
yeah.
No.
Killing and eating our national bird for a holiday every year. I'm glad we went with the bald eagle
Yes,
there.
Bald eagle.
That's a big turkey right there.
It is, yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen an all-white turkey until I saw them pardoned in, you know, at the White House.
I guess. I mean, I've seen different colored ones, but usually the ones that are out in the wild, they would never be that color.
Right. That's what
at least I would think, because then it would just be too easy to get spotted by a predator.
Or a hunter, yeah. All righty, well, in our final trend, Anthony Hoyt has become known as the pedaling Picasso. He created this virtual portrait by riding his bike through London. Now, all of the lines you see there total 75 miles, and it took him 8 hours and 27 minutes to finish. He says this took 3 months to plan, and he also had to do some rerouting because of road closures. But Hoyt says he hopes to use this to raise money, but also awareness for men's mental health, suicide prevention, and cancer research. I do have to say, though, there are some artists out there who can dance and do this type of thing as well, and I've always admired the creativity from that.
Yeah, the fact that he did that all in one sitting, too, you know, I mean, like, some of these bike riders, they can go for long times, but, I mean, he did 70-some miles in 8 hours. I mean, that's pretty, I mean, I know it's an average of like 10 miles an hour, which is not that bad on a bike, but to go for 8 hours, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like of all things you could do, like a tracing of a portrait of a person is probably the most complex or difficult. So he pulled it off.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, to deal with...
Oh, wow, it is a person.
Yeah, and to deal with, like, it being in London, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a cool city.
Pretty super busy city, you know, to be riding your bike around. I mean, it's a lot.
Looks like he had to do a lot of turns and kind of going back the similar way, though. Looks like it definitely was a challenge, though.
We probably can't do any of those in any of our North American cities, though, because we're all just a nice grid. You know what I mean? You can go north, south, east, or west, and that's pretty much it.
Only 4 directions.
Yep.
You can make a nice square. That's about
it.
All right, well, we'll be right back after this break.
Make sure you stay with us.
from your local news leader, Karina Rubio, Matthew White, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Durfin. You're watching The Morning Show at 9 on WCIA-3.
One school district is giving students and staff a way to manage their stress.
That's right. So Effingham is adding several school improvement days to its calendar. And the first is set for Friday, December 17th. And on that day, school will let out at noon. The other 2 days will be in February and March. And the superintendent hopes that these extra times off will give people a chance to focus on self-care as well as their family. Now, one group is helping recipients of blood transfusions thank the people who have personally impacted their lives. So Impact Life Blood Center in Urbana has launched a Thank the Donor campaign. It is a way for recipients to send a message to the donor who provided the unit of blood they received. Keep in mind, the messages are anonymous and they are reviewed by content curators before they're sent out. But organizers are encouraging donations this week, especially since it is a time to be thankful.
It's got to be, just an extra level of gratitude and motivation to make that next appointment to give blood and to continue supporting the mission of Impact Life.
They started this program back in January, and so far 500 thank you notes have been passed along.
Well, it was D-Day for federal workers when it comes to being vaccinated. Today marks the first day, that federal employees had to work under a vaccine mandate. In September, the president pinpointed last night as the time where workers would be required to get vaccinated, and as of today, 90% of workers have gotten at least one dose. 3.5 million workers have no option unless they have an approved medical or religious exemption. Workers who are not in compliance are set to begin a counseling process that could ultimately cost them their job. We have a follow-up this morning. Hundreds of kids got vaccinated yesterday in Champaign. The school district held a clinic at BOTTENFIELD Elementary. 400 kids and 20 adults received their first dose. Now, if you missed that clinic, there is another one happening at the elementary school later today. That started just a few minutes ago and goes until 3. Appointments are still open, and they do accept walk-ins.
And while we're on the topic of vaccinations, here's a look at the numbers statewide. Nearly 16.9 million people have gotten their shot. The state of Illinois is still averaging about 62,000 shots a day, while nearly 58% of the population is fully vaccinated. There are over 4,700 new cases statewide, while 9 more people have died. The 7-day positivity rate continues to rise as well, and it's now at 3.9%. Now, don't forget, Shield, Illinois is offering extended hours, and it will be at several community testing sites today, and there will be free testing from 3 to 8 p.m. It's taking place at the Stevens Family YMCA here in Champaign, as well as at the Richland Community College in Decatur and the Lincoln Land Community College in Springfield. Now, be sure to stay close to your TV because Jack has your forecast next. Hopefully, you're staying warm this Tuesday.
Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Gervin.
Good to see the sunshine once again out there this morning. This is our view from Springfield on our Flooring America INA camera. Looking at the state capitol, yeah, there's a little bit more in the way of some wind today. This also, our camera is, or our Springfield camera is also our highest up camera too, so it kind of shakes a bit more in the wind. We'll see a little bit more wind today compared to yesterday, but overall still though expected to be a nice sunny day with a little bit in the way of some warmer temperatures. Now there are some upper level cirrus clouds coming on through. You can see those on the satellite, but there's obviously, they're very thin, so we're not looking at them to really be obscuring a lot of our cloud or our skies for today. So overall though, we're not expecting much cloud cover with more in the way of some sunny skies expected for us today. Off to our west in the Pacific Northwest, our next low is still developing over there. That's where the rain showers and the snow showers are currently, and those will be coming in towards our direction by later on in our day for our Wednesday. We're at 30 now in Watseka. Same temperature in Danville and in Bloomington, 31 in Champaign, 32 in Decatur. So now everybody has at least warmed up into the 30s compared to 24 hours ago. We're about 5 degrees warmer than where we were at this point yesterday morning. Keep in mind, though, with the wind coming in out of the south today, it's actually going to be a warmer day today by about 5 to 10 degrees compared to yesterday afternoon's high temperatures. Right now, our winds coming in out of the south between about 5 to 15 miles an hour. So still a little bit of a chill in the air with a wind chill. But overall, though, it's going to be a much nicer day for today. We're looking at a high around 44. Still kind of chilly compared to average, but it's a much closer to normal day. And then overnight tonight, we'll drop down to a low of 36 with winds coming in out of the northwest, still pretty light. Again, the big travel day is tomorrow, and we still have cloudy skies across a lot of the Midwest as that next low comes on through. So we're still looking to be pretty good here for many locations. If you are going to be driving and maybe driving quite a while, kind of put some farther spots there in Detroit, that'd be a good 6-hour drive from here. Minneapolis, a good 7-hour drive from here. It is going to be pretty cloudy for the Midwest, but dry for a lot of us, which would be good. And then for Thanksgiving, we are still calling for a chance for some rain showers to be possible in the morning hours. By the afternoon, our temperatures will likely have fallen, so that 47 for the high is likely going to be one of those early high temperatures for us. So here's tomorrow on the big future track, and you'll notice that even at 4 o'clock, we're mainly just cloudy, and things are pretty dry. Don't have much in the way of some rain showers, except for maybe a couple of sprinkles here and there across some of the Midwest. But once we go into the overnight hours into early Thursday morning, we've got more of the rain showers developing along that cold front. That pushes out of here by, we're thinking late, for us, late Thanksgiving morning. So by Thanksgiving afternoon, you've probably got pretty clear skies at this point. The thing is, though, behind this cold front is another blast of some cool air, so our temperatures are expected to fall throughout our Thursday. And then after that, we're pretty quiet going into our Friday and the weekend. So for all you Black Friday shoppers, we've got just chilly conditions with sunny skies. Probably won't really matter too much. You're either buying stuff online anyways or spending time in the mall, so temperatures outside probably don't really matter all that much. You'll see, though, that our 7-day forecast still does have some ups and downs with our temperatures going from 44 today to 51 tomorrow, down to 36 by the time we get to Friday, and then by the weekend, we're looking at more in the way of some 30s and 40s. We'll be right back after this.
The Morning Show.
Welcome back. Yesterday, we told you about WCIA-3's efforts to continue supporting the community, and that's through our Day of Giving initiative. Now, this year, several different Central Illinois organizations will benefit from this fundraiser.
That's right, Karina, including one that has made already amazing progress toward improving public safety. And we have the privilege of being joined by John Hecker, president of Champaign County Crime Stoppers.
Thank you.
John, you know it's always a privilege to have you on the morning show.
Pleasure to be here, and we certainly appreciate the support the station has given us.
That's why we're here.
Of course, we are so excited that you are partnering with us for this initiative. Now, we've worked with you several times in the past, but for those who don't know out there, can you give us a breakdown of what the mission of Crime Stoppers is?
Sure. Crime Stoppers is basically a very simplistic concept. Individuals having information regarding the commission of a crime can convey that to Crime Stoppers anonymously, and if that information leads to an arrest or recovery of stolen property, the tipster automatically becomes a candidate for a cash reward of up to $1,000. Now, I want to point out, we never want to deter anyone from going directly to law enforcement. But if there is some sort of hesitation, we are still there to take that information, guarantee the anonymity, and the availability of the cash reward.
Well, John, and obviously you know how essential Crime Stoppers is to our community in achieving victory over violence, as we mentioned on our shows. And so, can you talk about the importance of Crime Stoppers, but also share some of the success stories that you've seen recently in the last few months?
Well, we've definitely had an escalation in calls that are coming in, I should say information. We got 3 different vehicles individuals can convey information to us: our phone line, our website, or a free P3 Tips mobile app. And I know the station has been very helpful in advertising those 3 different venues, in essence, of conveying information to us. But I'm experiencing, I'm born and raised here, but I think over the past year, I've never had so many people come up to me and say, what can we do? How can we be helpful? We want to take back our community, and we're very concerned about the escalation in crime, particularly escalation gun-related crime. So we feel we can be extremely helpful in addressing this situation, and I think we have been. Over the past, I say, 6 months, we have been able to make numerous arrests. We've given out our maximum reward numerous times, and we're there to take more information as it is available.
Absolutely.
Now, it is important to note that Crime Stoppers is a group that runs solely off of donations, solely off of people caring in the community to help fight crime. Can you tell us a little bit about how people can donate and exactly what the goal is?
Yes, and I want to underscore, we are a total volunteer organization. We have no paid staff. We don't even have an office. So, but we don't have those luxuries yet. The nice aspect being that well over 92 to 93 cents of every dollar that's contributed to us goes directly to our reward fund. We don't have any administrative overhead whatsoever. As far as ways of conveying money to us, we have started a GoFundMe account. There's information on our website, 373tips.com. Individuals can send checks in to our address or P.O. Box. Via the website, there are different means of conveying money to us, and then our GoFundMe account. So really, a number of different vehicles of conveying funding to us, donations. We are a 503c3 organization, so those donations would be tax deductible. And but I would hardly encourage people to go to our website again, 373tips.com.
A little money goes a long way, John.
That's right.
We feel it has. We feel it's been very successful in taking some of the bad people off the streets.
And that is always the goal. Now, John, we want to move forward to our next question. Can you talk about how essential it is that those tips stay anonymous and how you're able to ensure that that stays that way?
Right. We're very cognizant of the fact that there are many people that want to be helpful, but up to a point. Either fear of retaliation, not wanting their name in the media, not wanting to have to testify, whatever the case may be. Again, we never want to deter people from going directly to law enforcement. But if there is that hesitation, we are still there to take that information, convey it to the appropriate law enforcement agency, guarantee the anonymity. We've gone to great lengths to guarantee that, and the availability of the cash reward.
And John, you have been involved with Crime Stoppers for years at this point. And looking at today, would you say that the crime going on in our area is at a worse point than you've seen before in the past?
Well, I certainly say this. In this year, we are celebrating our 35th anniversary. And I think that's a major milestone for our group, particularly an all-volunteer group. But I think over those years, and as I alluded to earlier, particularly the last couple of years with the tremendous escalation in gun-related crimes, there are more and more people that are, I think, openly extremely concerned and coming forward. Again, as I alluded to earlier, I'm having many people I don't even know, but they've seen me on either television or the media coming up to me again and saying, we certainly want to be supportive of Crime Stoppers. What can we do? How can we be helpful? And we're very concerned about the situation in our community. But I think we have been very successful in addressing a lot of the crime that's going on. Again, the apprehension of a lot of illegal weapons through arrests that have been made, and again, taking individuals off the streets that should not be on the streets.
Well, and John, I'm sure the community can attest that there's a lot of frustration, a lot of fear that's going on in our communities because our youth are getting involved in a lot of this violence. So can you talk about really kind of what you've maybe heard from the community yourself? Is there some of that similar frustration you've heard?
Most definitely, most definitely. As I said, having people come forward, contacting me, contacting other members of our board, there's, I think, a heightened level of awareness and concern that I have not seen, certainly since my tenure on the board, which is now 35 years. But people are very, very concerned. I think people are accustomed to shootings occurring, unfortunately, nowhere near as frequently, and usually at 3 a.m. and quite often at one particular area of the community. Now it can happen at 3 p.m. in any area of the community, anywhere. No one really is immune. It can happen in anyone's backyard. And so this undoubtedly has really heightened the level of concern and awareness regarding criminal activity locally and how Crime Stoppers can be helpful in the resolution of these crimes.
And that's exactly why Crime Stoppers fits so well with our Day of Giving initiative. Again, that event will be in the WCIA back parking lot. That is November 30th, next Tuesday. That's going to be happening from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You can bring a donation. It'll support Crime Stoppers and other organizations. Now, if you want to know more or if you want to donate, you can also head to our website. John, again, thank you so much for being here. And
thank you. We greatly appreciate the support of the station tremendously.
Takes a village.
All right, well, still to come here on the morning show, we'll tell you where a popular holiday light display is turning heads. We'll be right back after this quick break.
You're watching your local news leader. This is The Morning Show on WCIA-3 News.
Well, we do welcome you back to The Morning Show. See You at Home and here in Champaign does have a new leader.
That's right. Melissa Courtwright is the organization's new executive director, and officials say she's been a longtime advocate for seniors in Champaign and Vermilion counties. Now, she previously led programs to help people live independently as they age and to fight elder abuse and exploitation. Courtwright is starting at a busy time for See You at Home. The group is preparing for more overnight stays during the cold weather, and it's also planning its one winter night fundraiser scheduled for February. Now, one place you may want to check out this holiday season, the annual Festival of Lights is lighting up East Peoria. Now, that show kicked off over the weekend, and thousands of people lined the streets there for the 37th annual event. This year, an old favorite was back by popular demand, the toy train float, fully restored. People say this is an event that gets everyone in the holiday spirit and is something they pass down to their children.
And while we're talking about getting into the holiday spirit, downtown Springfield will soon be transformed into a holiday wonderland, complete with decorations and delicious food. So don't forget, the fun will begin this Saturday, and that will launch the 2021 Old Capitol Holiday Walks. Activities will continue each Wednesday night and Saturday through December 22nd.
The Old Capitol Holiday Walks, presented by IMB, have been a long-standing tradition in our downtown. Its real sole purpose is to get foot traffic to our businesses in the downtown district, and it's for another place for families to create memories in the heart of our city.
Graven also says several streets will be closed on Saturdays, but free parking will be available. So if you at home want to learn more, you can visit our website at WCIA.com. Now, don't forget, getting on I-74 just got a lot easier if you're headed east from Champaign.
Construction on the on-ramp from Neal Street is finally finished. It's been closed for months with traffic rerouted into the city. IDOT set a completion time as the end of last week, and that was accomplished. Well, the original Madness of March is coming back to Champaign. Now, this comes after a year off because of the pandemic. The Illinois High School Association Boys State Basketball Tournament is returning. It's scheduled to happen at the State Farm Center in Champaign. It'll run from March 10th through the 12th. The tournament spent 77 years on U of I's campus before heading to Peoria in 1996. It was there for 25 years until the board approved a 3-year deal to bring it back here.
It was a staple for years and years, for generations. Fans would come around from around the state. This was it was a place that they came every year to the state basketball tournament. It was here till 1995, and we're thrilled to have it back.
If you want to get your hands on some tickets, they are on sale, and we have that link on WCIA.com. Coming up on the morning show, we have your Iron Entertainment Report right after this quick break. scams New York's high society, and a new series based on a true story in HBO Max has a new animated Christmas comedy for adults. Anthony Pura has that and more in today's Ion Entertainment.
Who is this person?
Netflix dives into the story of one of New York's biggest con artists with Inventing Anna. The 9-episode limited series from Shonda Rhimes follows a journalist investigating the case of Anna Delvey, a fake German heiress who conned her way into New York's social scene and stole their money. Inventing Anna drops on Netflix February 11th. Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen are the starring voices in Santa Inc., a new stop-motion animated Christmas story not meant for kids. The new adult comedy from HBO Max is centered around an elf who is determined to become the first female Santa.
She has ideas, but can she really be the face of Christmas?
Santa Inc. is available December 2nd on HBO Max. And the Metropolitan Opera will debut a new singer today, and his talents don't stop with his voice. Jakub Józef Orliński will be featured in the new opera, Eurydice. Orliński, who is from Poland, is an accomplished break dancer, which he enjoys doing on the side. The singer says he discovered breaking at age 18.
It's not that like I'm trying to be a product who is like, oh, there is like this breakdancing countertenor. I am singing. That's my occupation, sort of. Like I'm an opera singer, and this is something that I do aside, and I'm not a professional dancer, but I still do that because I love it.
Eurydice will be running at the Met Opera through December 16th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Anthony Pura, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Jack has your forecast next, right after this break. We'll be right back.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Gervin.
We've got more sunshine out for today, just like we had yesterday. Here's our view from Springfield on our Florida America Ina camera. A little bit more in the way of some wind out there. That's why the camera is shaking a bit more. But overall, it's going to be a nice sunny day for today. We do have, though, a couple of upper-level cirrus clouds passing on through, but you'll notice off to our northwest and west where things are coming from, there's really not much there. So, and even still, though, these clouds are very thin, so we have still a lot of sunshine coming on through. So we have a nice sunny day for today. Still, though, expecting our next low to be coming in from the Pacific Northwest. forecast. We've got some of the rain showers and snow showers developing a bit more there. That low, though, is going to bring us the chance for some rain by the time we get to late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Now that we are close to 10 o'clock, we have temperatures that are more so in the 30s. Still, though, 28 in Petersburg, but we have a 30 in Bloomington, 31 in Champaign, also in Danville, up to 34 now in Paris, Watsika, Effingham, and in Taylorville, and a 36 currently in Jacksonville. Compared to 24 hours ago, we're around 5 degrees warmer than we were yesterday, if not even a little bit warmer than that. So it's going to be a better day for today, thanks to the fact that we'll have, again, more sunshine like yesterday. But the winds will now be out of the south direction between about 10 and 20 miles per hour compared to out of the northwest direction like what it was yesterday. So our wind chills really shouldn't be as bad as what they were yesterday. Overall, though, a nice day. Still kind of chilly compared to average. Still, though, not bad, with our winds coming in there at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. And then for tonight, we'll drop down to 36, still with less wind. Still expecting more cloud cover for our Wednesday. So if you are going to be traveling, a lot of the airports will be okay. There's no big system that will be impacting our forecast on Wednesday. And in terms of any driving, mainly just looking at cloudy skies across a lot of the Midwest. So if you are driving just a couple hours, maybe even multiple hours, it should be actually okay if you're leaving tomorrow morning, maybe even after work, or if you have a half day. Pretty much any time, most of the day tomorrow should be dry. We then have the chance for some rain showers going into Wednesday night, and those will continue into our Thanksgiving morning. So here's the big travel day for tomorrow. Again, the low is coming here, and it's getting closer to us. But you'll notice that besides some very light rain showers that could be possible along that front, a lot of what we have across the viewing area, the state, and the Midwest, just a lot of cloud cover out there. But then by the time we get to Wednesday night, this would be after midnight, we have more rain showers that will develop, and those will continue into our Thanksgiving morning. The thing is, though, this will be along a cold front, so by the afternoon hours of our Thanksgiving, we should be dried out and actually pretty sunny, but our temperatures are most likely falling at that point because of the cool air that comes in behind this high-pressure center. That's going to make our Black Friday shopping a little bit more chilly, as highs will likely only going to be in the 30s. So in the morning, temperatures will be in the teens. We'll get into the 30s by the afternoon. And you'll see, though, that our 7-day forecast still goes up and down quite a bit here. So 44 today, 51 for Wednesday, down to 49 for Thanksgiving, and then 36 for Black Friday. We'll finish things up after this.
This is The Morning Show.
Welcome back, everyone. An Illinois state representative wants to make daylight savings time the new permanent standard time for the state of Illinois.
And that means the sun would set later all year round. State Representative Sue Scherer says several people in her district in Decatur want to make that change happen. She says changing the clocks has repercussions on people's health and the economy.
I felt like we needed to do it in Illinois. It's just good common sense. It's what the people want, and it saves money, and it improves people's health and work productivity. The other thing is I wanted to send a very clear message to Washington that the state of Illinois is supportive of this.
Right now, there was a similar bill in Congress, and it's called the Sunshine Protection Act. It would make daylight saving time the new permanent standard for the entire country. That's going to wrap up the morning show here on WCIA.
But before...
Go ahead.
Before that, we'll get one last check of the forecast with Jack. Jack, it's hard not to smile with all of the sunshine we're seeing.
It's good to see the sunshine out there today, and temperatures not too bad in the middle 40s. We then have low 50s for tomorrow with cloudy skies. Our chance of rain will be coming in late at night on Wednesday. So if you are doing some traveling, some driving, some flying tomorrow, just cloudy across a lot of the regions. So it's actually not going to be all that bad. Those rain showers, though, will linger on into our Thanksgiving morning. So if you are traveling early in the morning, you have some rain showers there. And our skies will clear out and kind of drop with our temperatures throughout the day. And our Friday shopping should be a little chilly.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great Tuesday.